All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Sometimes known as Hotep Thursday. I know the guys will be on tonight, Hotep Jesus and Uncle Hotep on Hotep's Been Told You on Hotep Jesus' channel. I'm promoting that just because I've been thinking about HotepCon and the great time I had out there. And so I thought maybe I got to do a recap, though. I never did my recap video, so I'm going to work on that and get that out probably by Monday. But also, some people have been asking me, what is Hotep? And so I'll probably try to explain that in a succinct manner as possible in that video. But that's not what's important today. Today, it is FTG Thursday on the Morning Night Live, and that's what we're going to do. But the biggest news from yesterday was Joe Biden giving away some more free money. Free money! Oh, everybody loves some free money until it comes and bites him in the ass. So anyway, that's the plan. Shall we? It's Hoedown Dubstep. Yeah, I don't know why I chose dubstep today, but that's going to be the theme music today. So if you drop a couple nickels in the tip jar and write something that I read, we're going to be using dubstep today. But anyway, that's it for the intro. Perhaps it would be a good time to play the actual intro. Johnny, are you there? Play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night.
I really need to update that intro. It's about time. I really need to do it. Anyway, stop the music. Yes, thank you very much. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am your host, Marty, also known as P Dog Night on the internet. And welcome to the P Dog Night channel. I just realized I didn't reset the Superstar Donor of the Day. Let me take care of that, because we do not have a Superstar Donor of the Day because we are without donors so far. Anyway, good morning. It is Thursday, the 25th of August 2022, opening day of the Minnesota State Fair, one of the most fantastic state fairs in the nation. Just a little bit of trivia. The Minnesota State Fair is the second largest state fair in the country, only behind the state of Texas. We have a huge state fair, the giant state fairgrounds right in the middle of the St. Paul, right in the middle of the city. And they use it a lot for other things, but man, it is huge. I think might be 50 acres. I don't know. Let me see. Let's look this up. Hey Siri, how big is the Minnesota State Fairgrounds? I don't think it's 50 acres. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it's not 50 acres, it's 322 acres. Our state fairgrounds, 320. It is fantastic. They bring in some great musical acts. Obviously, state fairs are known for having great food. You get to see farm animals. We got a great midway as in rides and games, and it's just crazy how big the Minnesota State Fair. I was quite disoriented when I first moved here because I grew up in Nebraska. We have a decent state fair, but it's nothing like this monstrosity. And the funny thing is, when you live in Minnesota, okay, or people who lived here longer than, when I first moved here, either moved here or don't talk to Sue, she's a snitch. I know. But when you live in Minnesota, it's a big deal to go to the state fair. It's not like, because when I was a kid, you're going to go to the Nebraska State Fair. Maybe. Yeah, I've been there a couple times. But here, it is absolutely an event to go to every year. So I got to say, I'm going to shill for a content creator on Rumble. Hope you don't mind. No, I don't mind. But Cat Turd has a Rumble channel and does a show named In the Litter Box with Cat Turd. Check it out. I'm going to check it out. I want to get Cat Turd on my show sometime. He's a funny dude, and apparently he's written a couple books that people like, and I got to check that out. Anyway, no, back to the Minnesota State Fair though. It's amazing. It's hard to explain how big of a deal it is. State Fair sucked. Not nearly enough carnies or people selling Coke on the side along with elephant ears for my taste. No, I'm telling you. In fact, maybe I'm sure Lady Boomer and I will go when she's done with her COVID rounds, because it goes for 2 weeks, goes all the way through Labor Day. I have footage from last year. It's massive. They get about, I want to say, almost a couple 100,000 people a day go to the Minnesota State Fair. It's amazing. So, anyway, all right, let's get into the show. But before we do that, I'll say good morning to everybody. I got to turn my monitor up there. I can hear myself a little better. First to chat today is our friend Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell. Thank you, sir, for being here. Also, good morning, Jay Pylon. What up? Also, good morning, Gunfox61, our administrator of the Discord server. Join our Discord server. There's always some great news items, and if you miss a show, you can find it there easily. Also, Mike Savage, Blarg, Sound on Bull Nation in the house. Good morning to GDSOB. What up? Also, Jimmy Das. What's up, my brother? Jimmy Das Hotep. Let's see. Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Lives in the house. Good to see you. Tyrannus Alexandris. Invictus Soul. I don't know why I like saying that. It's kind of it sounds like, okay, so if they were doing, what's that movie? Remember the movie 300? The movie 300, it reminds me of like a name that would be in that movie. And, some bad guys or people that, that the 300 are going to go kill are having a meeting, and he mentions the name Tyrannus Alexandris, Invictus Soul. And that you'd get one of these. I don't know why it reminds me of that. Anyway, also good morning, Rotten Corpse, Simon Wolfwood. Let's see. I said, there's got to be more people here. It says there's more people here. Maddie's in the house. Good morning. I said, do you have a friend? I said that. Well, Attack Alpaca's in the house. How you doing? And CNN Sucks, the most redundant name on the internet. Jordan250, Jim Beam, what's up? Zombie Teddy's in the house. Now I'm seeing more people. Let's see. Chicago Mike, what up? Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian. Renee Mayette. Okay, the people are starting to get the notifications. I got it now. There you go. And Chauncey Stewart, what's up? All right, so that's what it takes. I always forget, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for everyone who's getting notifications to figure out that we're actually going, and I'm not just having music going and I'm not here. So there you go. Oh, Marty, I got some good news for you, though. Well, I guess we'll have to hear what that is, too. Gunfox, just let me know. Jethro Hetero, good morning. Rachel Madhouse Dildos here. Hig 1966 here. Good morning, gang. Okay, let's, I want to start. Well, actually, let me cycle through some news that's on here. Oh, Kiwi Farms is trending. Oh my gosh. Have y'all been following this thing with Keffels and Kiwi Farms? Frankly, I look, if both of those entities fell into a fire, I wouldn't go get any water for them. But because I think Keffels is an awful human being. And Kiwi Farms, they do what they do. I don't care. I just not my thing. They fuck with people all the time and put people on the internet with their at their worst. But usually stuff that people actually said. They don't lie. They just they make people. They show people at their worst. Sometimes they lie. Who knows? But anyway, they're having this big beef, right? And it's trending. It's been trending for 8-9 days now. And so I'm looking here, Kiwi Farms trending again. Let me put it on the screen here. And probably, normally I don't care about this kind of crap. to be honest with you. Oh, let's see. So, but this Catholic person is doing everything they can to get Kiwi Farms deplatformed, just erased from the internet. And so now they're doing this. Kiwi Farms is back up, and they are basically writing a site's obituary in real time, because Keflos has basically made a campaign to get them off the internet. If Keflos somehow succeeds in getting rid of Kiwi Farms, this would mean I don't have anywhere else in the internet to go. My Twitter account was already suspended because of Keflos. My Reddit account was suspended multiple times. All this because we don't give in to whatever is delusional ideology. So apparently Keflos has had some. Let's see. Keflos goes down due to DDoS. Keflos Twitter hit with 12-hour suspension. MTG swatted by a person claiming to be Kiwi Mod. So, hey, wait. This is going to bring me into this thing about MTG. I didn't really want to talk about this first, but it happens to be trending right now. So I'll copy this and put it on the list of places to see if you want to look this up later. But anyway, so Marjorie Taylor Greene, remember we were talking about her getting swatted the other day? Well, apparently somebody, after she got swatted, and that was real. I didn't know, it was hard to tell if that was going to be real, right? Well, anyway, she got swatted. Someone called the police, said that there was something really bad happening in the house. The police came there, guns drawn, and in the middle of the night, and then they figured out it was Marjorie Taylor Greene, and everything was cool. But, and we weren't sure if that was real, right? Well, the next day, the police confirmed that yes, they did go to, they had a call at Marjorie Taylor Greene's house. And so then there was a call made that the people who swatted Marjorie Taylor Greene, in theory, was someone who was supposedly someone from Kiwi Farms who was mad about her stance on trans people, which now, yeah, let's see if I can find. Here it is. Here's the update. Here's the update on PJ Media. So Marjorie Taylor Greene swatted. 9/11 caller was upset over MTG's stance on transgender youth rights. Now, I don't think this is real. If right now, because the Kiwi Farms people are, let's just say they're not into the gender ideology stuff, right? So this is how PJ Media reports this. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene claimed to have been swatted in the early hours of Wednesday morning. Swatting is calling a false police report on someone hoping to get a SWAT team or something similar to show up, knock down doors, and basically ruin their day and even their lives. And so she tweeted this out. Last night I was swatted, blah, blah, blah. And that's all Greene had to say. Well, here's the update. Here's the most recent. MTG on Charlie Kirk show just a few moments ago. And she's talking about exactly what happened. She got swatted last night. Let's watch this.
What was it like from your perspective? I mean, you're home, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Did this start with a knock on the door? Was it a phone call? Was it a pounding? What actually happened last night from what you can tell us?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Internet.
Through detail by detail. So I was sound asleep. Of course, never expected anyone to be coming to my house at that time in the morning. Heard some knocks on the door, heard my doorbell, saw some lights outside, heard people outside my windows in my yard. And I jumped out of bed, threw my clothes on, and I picked up my gun. That was my instinct, because I'm a gun owner. I'm a Second Amendment supporter, and I believe in defending myself. And normally I answer the door with a gun, especially if it's someone that I don't expect coming to my home. But for some reason, I had this weird gut instinct to not take my gun with me to the front door, which was very out of norm for me. So I put my gun down and I just went down the hallway, and the house was still dark. And I came around the corner and looked out the windows.
Yes, Avocados Diablo. It is the Charlie Kirk show, but it's Jack Posobiec asking the questions. I don't know what this is from. The Charlie Kirk show. I don't even know where he has a show. But yeah, it must be a snooze fest. That's funny. Hello, Richo, my friend from Down Under. What's up?
And I saw the police outside, and they.
Okay, I don't need the description. This is too long already. Anyway, so talk about snooze fest. You're right, but here's the point. So the police say caller used a computer-generated voice stating that he or she was upset about Ms. Green's political view on transgender rights. They received a 911 call about someone being shot at the home of GOP Representative Green's house. Local police and they're probing the swatting incident, right? Then she says, now this is the part that cracks me up. 911 received a call from the suspect claiming responsibility for the incident and explaining his or her motives. Really? They explained they were upset about Ms. Green's stance on transgender youth rights and stated they were trying to swat her. Now, why would they call back and do that? And then eventually, let's see, did they have the part about Kiwi Farms in here? If this is the war the left wants, this is the war the left will get. I will never stop protecting children and defending their innocence. I have to immediately pass H.R. 8731 to protect Children's Innocence Act and mutilation of kids. But anyway, they claim, though, someone claimed that they were from Kiwi Farms, right? So then Kiwi Farm is trending again because of that. Now, this Keffels person has basically had a brigading campaign to get Kiwi Farms kicked off the internet, basically. So one of the people who's been watching this the most closely is this guy right here, Quarantine Koof. Now, if you don't know who Quarantine Koof is on Twitter, that would be Mr. Medicare. None other than Mr. Medicare. So here it is. I've learned a lot so far from this Keffels Kiwi Farms arc. Josh owns and operates his own international fleet of surveillance drones fully funded by the Democrat. Oh, wait a minute. That can't be right. Anyway, I'm not going to read that. Anyway, but so this, here's the Kiwi Farms versus Keffels breakdown. Team Keffels, ADL, Kotaku, Vice, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ethan Ralph, handful of journalists, bunch of activists. Team Kiwi, Josh, Kiwi Farms Air Force, and shit posters. Somehow they got Marjorie Taylor Greene on the same side as Keffels. Marjorie Taylor Greene is she's very much against the transing of kids, and Keffels is someone who makes homemade hormone treatments and for kids underage and sends them out and is trying to trans everybody. So it's messed up. Apparently, Kiwi Farms was down due to DDoS. Keffels' Twitter hit with a 12-hour suspension. MTG swatted by a person claiming to be a Kiwi mod. The arc is now entering the 24-hour ops phase. So anyway, it's getting nuts, and I'm not a fan of any of these people. Although I don't have anything against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Sometimes she says things I agree with. Sometimes she sounds dumb, and it's not always. Sometimes there's a thin line between the two. But anyway, real quick, thank you, GunFox61 and GunFox61. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. And since it's dubstep today, we're gonna have some appropriate music to read your chat, your prioritized chat. GunFox61 dropping a $3 into the tip jar. Says, if people of a particular group that get monkeypox, then why are kids getting monkeypox, huh? Sounds like some people are in need of a swim. With ropes and cinder blocks. Okay, thank you, GunFox61. Stop that music. That was a weird choice of music there. I don't know why. And it was very dramatic. And there's 3 cases of kids with monkeypox in the United States, and 98% of the cases are gay men who've had sex with gay men. And I'm just wondering how these kids got monkeypox. I'm just curious. I'm not excited about the prospect of whatever happened in that case. So anyway, did I leave this up there? Yes, I did. Okay, let me see what these notifications are real quick, and then we're going to move on. Thank you, Somnambule Nation, for sponsoring the show this morning. Also, Simon Wolfwood and Tyler F. for retweeting the show. Please, you are the sponsors of the Morning Night Live. If you'd be so kind, hit the like. Gosh, I should talk in like sentences. If you'd be so kind, drop a like, hit a like button, share the stream before, during, after. Put a comment in the comment section if you're watching a replay. And you can sponsor the show at pdognight.live, like Gunfox and now Tyre Alexander. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show. Or you can do super chats or a couple other options down below. Real quick, thank you, Tyre Alexander, for sponsoring the show. Let's get some appropriate dubstep music for Tyre Alexander. These dubstep things have too long intros. Here, there, right there. Tyre Alexander says, putting a small bullet in the tip jar, I appreciate that, the 223, says, first off, when you invoke the internet trickster god's true name, make sure you do something random to appease him. Second, this shit smell like an op to get MDTG to do Kempel's bidding. But it doesn't matter. The Kiwis can just move to foreign servers and bam. Well, yes, Tyre Alexander, I agree with you. Let's stop the music real quick. Yeah, they can move to foreign servers. It's just a pain in the ass, though. I mean, apparently they've been targeting Cloudflare, which is I imagine the hosting company for Kiwi Farms, and Keffels has it has about 30,000 followers on YouTube, about 45,000 followers on Twitch. But for whatever reason is very popular in the trans activist community. And again, like I said, this is a person who sells like homemade hormone treatments for kids who are underage and brags about it. And just a shitty person. Okay, don't fuck with other people's kids. You know, that's all I care. If adults want to make decisions about their lives that affect the rest of their lives, that's fine. But don't encouraging kids to do things that they don't understand. And you know, it just has that whole rhymes with boomer, but grrr feeling to it. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's check. I was going to check a couple other things. Let's see. Oh my God. Good Lord. Okay, I can't put that on the screen. I definitely can't. There was something I wanted to show you, but I can't find it now. All right, well, maybe we'll just have to move on. Ron DeSantis will beat Charlie Crist on every single issue, according to Jim McLaughlin. Test show new electric truck cost over $100 to charge. Oh, that's interesting. Let me check this report. Are you looking for a new electric vehicle? Well, if you've got money to burn and don't really care about helping the environment, but want to seem like you do, I've got the car for you. Here, I'll put it on the screen. Sure, it'll cost you over $100,000, and it'll cost you $100 to take out about 2 hours to fill the battery at a charging station. But that's a small price to pay to own a Hummer guilt-free. Well, it's not actually guilt-free, but you can pretend it is so you feel better about yourself and the mob won't attack you either. That's a lot of, well, I don't know what the rest of the sentence is supposed to say. The average cost of a gallon of gasoline in 1900 to 1910 was 20 cents a gallon to $2.10 a gallon saying. This whole electric car thing is kind of stupid. I got to be honest with you. The amount of energy and environmental damage it'll cost just to make enough batteries. Plus, you got to have all these chips. I mean, it's bad enough they have a chip shortage for the gas-powered vehicles, but imagine how many more chips you need for an electric-powered vehicle. And especially with all the bells and whistles they're adding to them. Well, that's just, that is ugly as fuck. That's a Hummer. That's an electric Hummer. But it costs over $100 to charge, which is, now that's less to take about 2 hours to fill the battery. I don't know what kind of range that is, but that's more than it costs me to fill my truck right now, even at the gas prices they are now. Well, I suppose if I left my tank empty, Well, I guess that's because I don't let my tank get down past a quarter tank. But anyway, yeah, holy shit. I love seeing the videos of people charging their cars at the charger station. and the charger station catches fire. Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. Videos yet, but that would be funny. All right, should we get into some actual news now? I'll leave that one up. I don't need this one. I'm getting rid of some of these that I don't need. Let's see. I'll leave that. Oh no, I just closed it. Hang on. Restore. Reclose open tab. Make sure I have that one still. That's from Parler. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get into the news, though, because I've wasted a lot of time. It's insanity what the California is trying to do. Oh, we'll get to that. I have that on my list today. All right, now I got to do kind of lightning round for the whole show now because I've been dinking around all morning. So let's get to, shall we get to Joseph Rahim Biden? So Biden has announced his student loan forgiveness plan, and apparently that means his administration's student debt loan relief plan. On Wednesday, per the plan, the federal government will cancel $10,000 in student loan debt for Americans earning $125,000 or less per year and extend the pandemic-era pause on payments for all borrowers until December 31st. The plan also eliminates an additional $10,000 of debt for Pell Grant recipients. Keep it here for the latest. So, it's basically free money. They're gonna forgive it because they loaned it out and now they're just gonna forgive it. When President Biden announced his student loan forgiveness plan, he acknowledged that not everything I'm announcing today is going to make everyone happy. Here's take a look at the debate it kicked off. So there's a New York Times article about it. I didn't open that one. Sweeping package of student debt relief that forgives as much as $20,000 for some recipients, as well as a 4-month extension on the moratorium for loan payments. So, this whole moratorium on loan payments, are we still in a federal national emergency or whatever? Because all this happened because of stupid 19, right? And they keep saying, oh my God, the Biden administration acts like this is the greatest economy ever, and everyone's going back to work, and everyone's getting raises, and everyone's great, and there's no unemployment. The unemployment is lowest in 20 states, is the lowest it's ever been, and everything's fantastic and fucking hunky-dory, and everything's perfect. And now we're going to forgive student loans because, we need to give even more relief because what? Wait, what? I thought everything was great. Why are you giving away free money again? So, and look, it's funny because, let's see. Let me see this. President Biden, student loan payment. Here's a clip. Here's a clip of Biden. Here it is. Listen to this.
We've made incredible progress advancing America's economic recovery. We've wound down pandemic relief programs.
Yeah. Well, so why are you doing this one?
Businesses. It's time we do the same thing for student loans.
Why?
Student loan payments pause is going to end. It's going to end December 30th.
Okay, so people can start paying their loans again.
2022, and it's going to end at that time.
Right. So what?
It's time for the payments to resume. Second, my campaign for president, I made a commitment. That would provide student debt relief, and I'm honoring that commitment today.
Okay, all right. So here's CNBC saying, here's what President Biden's student loan forgiveness means for your taxes. Now, I think I made this point before. Let's see if this guy's saying what I thought would happen. So if they forgive this loan, this means you got that money for free. You have to count that money as income, don't you?
A huge announcement today coming from the administration regarding federal student loans. President Joe Biden announced that he would cancel up to $10,000 in student loan debt for most borrowers, providing relief to millions of Americans. That's not all. The president will also cancel up to $20,000 in debt for recipients of the Pell Grant.
Okay.
All in total,
but you got the money.
9 million borrowers will have their entire debt balance cleared.
But you got the money.
To experts of higher education. So if you're wondering if this applies to you, let's dig into the details from the president's tweet. So $10,000 in debt cancellation for those earning less less than $125,000 per year or $250,000 per household for married couples. The relief is also capped at the amount of the borrower's outstanding debt. The administration also announced an extension on the pause of student loan payments through December 31st,
Taxes?
2022. Taking a step back, according to higher education expert Mark Kantrowitz, this move could cost the federal government an estimated $244 billion. And on the recipients of the Pell Grant relief,
Wait.
this could be an additional $130 billion in costs.
Who's paying for it?
Consumer hit hard by inflation.
Who's paying
rising
for it?
costs, this could be relief, much needed relief for millions of
Who
Americans.
is going to pay
Let us know what
for
you
it?
think down below. Also hit the link in our bio.
Okay,
for
that
more
didn't say
details.
anything. Here's the problem. What are you going to do about the taxes? Aren't these people all going to get a tax bill? It's you have to now. You got to count that as income, right? What about the how is Pell Grant a debt? It's not. What they're saying though is so for people who make less than $125,000, they will cancel up to $10,000 worth of your student loans. If you were eligible for Pell Grants, they will also they'll increase that by another $10,000. So they'll forgive a total of $20,000 of your student loans had you been part of a Pell Grant. It's not like they're not forgiving a Pell Grant. A Pell Grant's a grant, but they're saying that they'll give another 10, basically because they say Pell Grants is for lower income people. Got it? Okay, hope that explains it. Anyway, let's look at a couple other articles about this. So who qualifies for Biden's plan to cancel $10,000 student debt, which becomes income? I'm just telling you, the IRS is going to count it as income. So all these people are going to get a tax bill as far as I'm concerned. Under the plan, borrowers can qualify for up to $10,000 in student loan forgiveness. Recipients of Pell Grants are eligible for an additional $10,000 of forgiveness. Only borrowers earning under $125,000 per year or $250,000 per year for married couple filing taxes jointly qualify. The Biden administration also announced that it's extending the current moratorium on payments until December 31st and implementing a new cap on the maximum monthly payments. A new cap on the maximum monthly payments of undergraduate borrowers, among other changes. So yeah, he's just giving it away. But now I have a question though. Here's my question, because I'm gonna skip that again. Under what authority does the President of the United States forgive a contract? Student loan's a contract, right? And it's money that they already got. They already borrowed it. Under what authority does the President of the United States forgive student loans? Is it just it's by decree? I say you are forgiven of your student loans of the $10,000. How? Is student loans like a law, or is there something in there? It's not like it's just something that well, with the side of a pen, I can just erase your debt. Why can't he erase all of your debt then? And who pays for that? All that money that you gave this money away? How exactly does he waive this debt away? Thank you, Chicago Mike, for sponsoring the show. Chicago Mike, you are the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day. And anyone know how he can do it? Let's read Chicago Mike's prioritized chat here. Chicago Mike says, I want my student loan forgiveness on a student loan that I paid off several years ago. I 100% concur. Let me go ahead and stop that music. Yeah. What about all of us who already paid off our student loans years and years ago? Oh, no, but these poor kids now, they can't afford to live if they don't pay off their student loans. Hello, pissed off Shih Tzu and Eddie Haskell. Nice to see you. All right, let me move on. But here's the thing. So now, this is CNN. Now, someone at CNN is very happy about this because it's one of these things that, they have to make. Oh, Thank you, Bob Joe Boblin. Bob Jabloblin. What the hell kind of name is that? Okay, thank you, Bob Jaboblin, for sponsoring the show. You are a fine American here. Oh, let me fix this. I gotta make that work. Thank you for sponsoring the show, Bob Jaboblin. I don't even know how to say it, but let me get some proper music for the day. It's dubstep day. If this will play, there we go. Maybe not. All right. Bob Jaboblin with a small bullet in the tip jar says, I would like to extend a special FTG to Emperor Puddinbrain the Wise. In his infinite wisdom, he has made me pay for someone else's gender studies degree. No FTG. Fuck Joe Biden. Seriously. And fuck gender studies. This has been Bob J. Boblin's FTG Farm CEO. Oh, I forgot. Bob J. Boblin is the CEO of FTG Farms. Well, there you go. Thank you, Bob J. Boblin. You are a great American. FTG Farms, one of the great sponsors of the Morning Night Live. I appreciate very much. All right, stop that music. So, I have to laugh because I'm going to show you a bunch of articles about this now. So here, this is CNN thinks this is a lovely thing, or at least this Stephen Collinson, because it opens a new, fresh midterm front. Because when we realized that Joe Biden doesn't really have the power to cancel student loans, and he'll probably have to go through the Congress. Well, President Joe Biden's plans to slash some student loan debt could help millions of borrowers. But a decision he spent months wrestling over could also have a profound and unpredictable electoral consequences. Yeah, because this is just an inflation inflator. Excuse me. The cacophony that followed the administration's Wednesday announcements reflects the high-stakes issue's possible impact on the November midterm elections, while also helping to explain the political, cultural, and economic evolution of both major parties. The immediate effect of Biden's executive order, if it survives possible court challenges, will be alleviating some of the burden of debt for graduates who sometimes struggle to make payments or have to delay major life decisions like buying a home. Please, let me get out my world's tiniest violin for that. You took on debt so you could go to school to make your life better. You know that I think it's like 60% of debt, of college loan debt, is it 60%? I know it's more than 50% for sure, are people with graduate degrees and postgraduate degrees, masters and PhDs and actual medical people. I think it's like almost 60%. Now, maybe that's why the president put this cap on income, put income limits on relieving some of this debt, right? He wanted to make it seem like he was doing something for the poor people, right? The poor people who took out these loans and didn't, whatever. So anyway, but no White House decision happens in a vacuum. This debate has been especially charged politically, and Biden has been under extreme pressure from more liberal members of his party to take sweeping action ever since winning the election in 2020, during which he campaigned on some loan forgiveness. The proximity of the 2022 midterms, in which Democrats now hope the long-expected Republican red wave may not crest as high as feared, means the president's strategy could turn out especially significant. Oh, because they would love for it to be a boon in the cap of Mr. Biden. Biden supporters hailed the decision to cancel $10,000 in debt for those making less than $125,000 a year as another bold bid to improve the lives of middle-class Americans, following efforts to fight child. Of course, when the causes inflation to rise more, it's going to hurt everybody. And guess what? You know what this bill is going to cost? Someone just tell me the estimate is. It's basically, when they say it's going to cost, how much it's going to cost, it's about $2,000 per household in America is what this costs. Of people who don't have degrees, people didn't go to school. So, like the meme in the, let's go back to the meme. Oh, you can't see it because I have it covered up. Anyway, the well, you can see it on the main here, in the upper hand corner here, where it says, yes, I'm struggling to make ends meet in my plumbing job or my hard hat job. And, well, this woman says, well, thank you for paying off some of my gender studies degree. Yes, that's exactly what we're here for. Real quick, thank you, GunFox61, for sponsoring the show. And now you are again the Streamlab Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. Gunfox with an almost 5 in the tip jar who says, Marty, this is basically the Democrats paying for votes. But really, this is the problem of government-backed loans and saying everyone go to college, even for people who can't afford it or even need college. Sounds like equity woke shit to me. I concur. 100%. Thank you, Gunfox61. Yeah, this is just he's buying votes, hoping young people or middle class people will go to the polls because he gave us $10,000 in debt. Wait till you get your tax bill. I'm telling you, this is gonna get counted as income, and you're gonna have a big old chunk you're gonna have to pay because of it. Of course, it won't be and the thing is, it won't be like loan payments. See, when you get a chunk in your tax bill, you've got to pay it now. You don't get to wait and pay it in installments. Plus, all these people. So think about this too. Think about all these people who've had these loan payments deferred, and it applies to us because Lady Boomer has some loans out because she's going to get her bachelor's degree, and because she's a 2-year degree and she's going to go to a 4-year degree, and so all those payments that you haven't had to make, how many people put some of that money away? Now, granted, when the payments restart, you're not like having to catch up; you just start where you left off. But still, a lot of people have made spending habits based on the fact that they're not having to make these payments. They have their lifestyle going, and now all of a sudden they're going to have to start making payments after December. Of course, I'm sure that the Biden administration will find an excuse to postpone those again, even though we're no longer in a national emergency or for the stupid 19. This shit's crazy. Anyway, let's Joe Biden. Oh, now some of the reporters after he made his announcement asked some questions, and he was not happy about the questions. Here's one of them. Biden bristles after reporter questions fairness of canceling student debt. I'm just going to play the clip. I'm not even going to show you the article. Here it is. Oh, is it going to be a commercial, though? I bet it is. In fact, let's do this. I think it's better. Nope. No. I'm not doing it. Let's go back to here. I can show you. He wasn't happy that someone had questions for him, and I'll... Here's the announcement. It's in the. If you want to watch the whole announcement, it'll be on this page here. Let's go to the end here though, because a couple questions got him riled up. Let's just play these real quick.
First century, because much of my time, the one word America can be defined by: possibilities.
Oh, at least you can remember the word this time.
We're going to have a lot more to say about this. There's a lot of material.
So they asked him a couple questions at the end here.
How this is being implemented.
The first one had nothing to do with the student loans.
Thank you.
This one's going to piss him off. Wait, hold on. I'll pause this for a second. Just said I want the music covered up so you can hear the question. So the first only two questions. He he ended his chat. He's looking on a teleprompter because he can't speak extemporaneously. And someone asked him this question.
Thank you.
Mr. President, how much advance notice did you have of the FBI's plan to search Mar-a-Lago?
I didn't have any advance notice. None. Zero. Not one single bit.
Now, he seems a little angry at that question. Boy, oh boy, he didn't like that question. How much advance notice did you have of the raid of Mar-a-Lago? He claims he had none. Okay. But then someone asked him a question as he was walking out the door.
Mr. President, is this unfair to people who paid their student loans or chose not to take out loans?
Is it fair to people who, in fact, do not own multi-billion-dollar businesses that see why these guys give them all a tax breaks? Is that fair? What do you think?
What about people?
Okay, so he got a little testy there too, a little contentious. Was it fair to the people who didn't take out loans, yada yada? And he said, "Is it fair for these multi billion-dollar corporations to get tax breaks. Well, that's a stupid argument because it's not. It has nothing to do with student loans. They didn't. I don't think the corporation even asked for the tax breaks. But the other problem that people are saying, oh, well, you should be able to do these student loans. You should be able to give breaks on student loans because, they gave out all these PPP loans during COVID-19, and then they were forgivable loans. Yes, they did. But the federal government shut down their businesses, forced them to, and then forced them to take loans to keep their people alive and running, and then said they would forgive the loans. That has nothing to do with people who took out student loans who were expecting to have to pay them off after they got their jobs, after they got out of college. So it's stop asking, again, false equivalence. Someone said that. Tyrannus Alexandrinus Invictus Sol said false equivalence. That's exactly a false equivalence. It has nothing to do with it. But anyway, let's see. Where are we at? So I'm skipping the Breitbart article. You can read it on your own, though, because I'm going to have it in the link in the description down below. I will update the one tab link in the second paragraph of the description with all these articles in there. All right. Now, here's the article that I found from Legal Insurrection that said this plan, the Biden canceling student debt, could cost $2,000 per taxpayer. But before I get into that, I got a couple more super chats. Let me get to these. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Chicago Mike, you fine American. Let's get some proper music. Chicago Mike, putting a big bullet in the tip jar, says, high inflation, so let's add more money to the economy. Makes sense to me. You are spot on. This is just, hey, we'll just keep flooding the economy with more cash and that comes out of nowhere. Printer goes brrr, and or actually just the little electronic ledgers grow just with no end in sight, and it doesn't make sense. You're correct, Chicago Mike. Thank you for sponsoring the show. You're a great American. Also, Cryptic is in the house. What up, Cryptic, my friend? And Cryptic, you are the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day. Who says, I need to turn the music up for this one because it's not as loud for you. It's really loud for me. Cryptic says, dementia patient in chief doesn't know if he shit his pants or if he's even alive. The man needs to be put in a retirement home and given pudding every day next to Bill Cosby. Well, I don't know if he should be next to Bill Cosby, but since Bill Cosby is out of jail, I guess that could be appropriate. President Sponge Brain shit pants. Sponge Brain shit pants? Is that what he call them? All right. So anyway, Biden canceling student loans could cost $2,000 per taxpayer. There were just under 158 million taxpayers in 2019, according to the IRS, meaning that the average cost of debt cancellation is $2,085.59 per taxpayer. Biden isn't canceling student debt. He's making everyone else pay for it. The National Taxpayer Union Foundation reported. Public reporting indicates President Biden may soon announce executive action. Well, he did, actually, canceling federal student loan debt for a large set of borrowers, though parameters of the student loan debt cancellation have yet to be announced. That was announced, though. The Biden administration may cancel up to $10,000 debt per borrower for making... Okay, he already announced this. So Penn Wharton Budget Model released a policy report on Tuesday that estimated the total cost of $10,000 in debt cancellation for borrowers making less than $125,000 per year would be $329.1 billion over 10 years. There were just under 158 million taxpayers in 2019, according to the IRS, meaning that the average cost of debt cancellation is $2,085.59 per taxpayer. But remember, when they say that, that's only the average. Remember, there's a large proportion of the population who pays none to very little taxes. So this is just, I don't get it. I don't get it. They're just, and even if they're keeping it under $25,000 per year in income or less, why should the full-time waiter who never went to college be paying off that that person who got the grad degree in ethnic studies or whatever, anything ending in studies, who's also waiting tables next to them? Why should that person pay off his workmate's degree? I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, there have been some critics from areas where you would not expect there to be critics. Here's one of them. Economist tears apart Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. Former Obama administration economist Jason Furman took to Twitter Wednesday afternoon to criticize President Joe Biden's plan for student loan forgiveness. The White House released the announcement Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. Furman, former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors under President Obama, argued on Twitter in a Twitter thread that the policy would lead to a small increase in inflation, but also criticized the plan for encouraging further increases in the cost of education. See, anytime you subsidize something in education, they raise their prices to match the subsidy. Kind of like, the electric car vehicle credit they're going to give to rich people who buy electric vehicles. They're going to give them $7,500 credit or whatever, tax break. And what did the car companies making electric vehicles do? They raise their prices by how much? Oh, imagine that, $7,500. Well, guess what? This is going to give the educational institutions, they're going to give $10,000, $20,000 back. Oh, let's raise our tuition. Anyway, he criticized the plan for encouraging further increases in the cost of education, further borrowing, and for future students to expect debt forgiveness. Pouring roughly $500 billion of gasoline on the inflationary fire that is already burning is reckless. Doing it while going well beyond one campaign promise, $10,000 of student loan relief, and breaking another, all proposals paid for, is even worse, said Furman. The White House fact sheet has sympathetic examples about a construction worker making $38,000 and a married nurse making $77,000 a year. But then why design a policy that would provide up to $40,000 to a married couple making $249,000 a year? Why include law and business school students? So anyway, you can get and yes, exactly. Oh, they're cryptic. You are the Streamlabs Superstar spots today. So anyway, yeah, a White House official? Are you kidding me? Oh, but that's not the only person criticizing. CNN, somebody at CNN actually criticized the plan. CNN's Catherine Rampell criticizes Biden's plan to cancel student debt. Now, let's see if she's criticizing it for being too obtuse, or is it not enough? Because a lot of people are criticizing it because it's not enough. But CNN commentator Catherine Rampell criticized Joe Biden's plan to forgive $10,000 in student loan debt. Rampell appeared skeptical about Biden's $10,000 student loan forgiveness plan as a good economic policy. The president is set to renounce the plan Wednesday, which he already did. I think from an equity and inflationary standpoint, it's not the best use of taxpayer dollars, Rampell said. There are a lot of people who benefit who appear to have relatively lower or moderate incomes today, but will have very high expected future earnings. Today, going to college is generally considered an investment. There are better ways to target the people who are actually suffering from student loan burdens, who are less likely to ever be able to pay off their debts, maybe because they never achieved a degree or they got a degree that was ultimately worthless. If your degree ends in studies, start studying menus. There are more, let's see. She said, I think this is going to cost a lot of money and may be going to a lot of people who really don't need the help. Critics have raised concerns about the impact of student loan debt cancellation on inflation. In February, the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, a nonpartisan agency, estimated that canceling student loan debt entirely would increase inflation by anywhere from 10 to 50 basis points. So anyway, he's got some criticism from Obama people, got criticism from CNN. This is CNN. Fascinating. However, now I was just mentioning, now what exactly gives the president the authority to unilaterally just flip of a pen, cancel student loan debt? Well, here's his rationale. Biden says this law for the troops gives him authority to cancel Harvard grads' debt. The HEROES Act allows reservists leaving their job and family relief from making student loan payments. President Joe Biden justified his authority to give up to $20,000 in student loan per borrower by citing a nearly 20-year-old law for veterans, active duty service members fighting in Afghanistan and Iraq and victims of terrorism. All of this means people can start finally climbing out from under a mountain of debt, Biden said in remarks from the White House announcing loan forgiveness to finally think about buying a home or starting a family or starting a business. And by the way, when this happens, the whole economy is better off. Really? Yes. Lots more money chasing a lot more things never causes prices to rise. Sorry. What Biden didn't mention in his public remarks is the law he's using to do so. A largely unknown higher education relief opportunities for students, the HEROES Act of 2003. That bill was never meant to be a bailout for typical college grads, but a technical fix for benefits for active duty troops. The HEROES Act was signed into law by then President George W. Bush as part of a federal government effort to provide financial security to soldiers fighting overseas. The bill grants the Secretary of Education the ability to waive or modify any statutory or regulatory provision applicable to the student financial assistance programs in connection with a war or other military operations, or, here's the words, national emergency, to provide the waivers or modifications authorized. Let's see, by bringing a little more peace of mind to student soldiers, we are doing our part to protect them as they protect us, said then Representative John Klein, Republican from Minnesota, the author of the bill at the time. The bill's stated purpose was to provide assistance with military personnel's transition into and out of active duty and active service. The HEROES Act received little attention in the media. When the bill did make it into the newspapers, a reporter described it as support for soldiers called to active duty. So apparently, Biden thinks that this bill gives him the authority to just willy-nilly change people's student loans obligations. I think this is going to go to the courts, and I think the courts are going to go, wait, excuse me, 1 second. I think the courts are going to go, what you talk about, Joe Biden? Oh my gosh, I'm old. Let's see. Now, remember this though? This is my favorite flashback article. This is my favorite, and I'm sure you'll remember this. Remember when Nancy Pelosi said that the president does not have the power for debt forgiveness? Remember this? This is a oldie but goodie. The president of the United States can postpone or delay repayments, but he does not have the power for debt forgiveness, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said just over a little over a year ago. At her July 28-21 press conference, a reporter asked Pelosi about the Democrat push to cancel student loan debt, a move that would leave American taxpayers with the tab. Here's the let's see. How long is this? This might not be that long.
Here's the thing.
Oh, here we go. Here's the thing.
People think that the President of the United States, is this more on the subject than you ever want to know? Well, you'll let me know. People think that the President of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness.
How?
He does not. He can postpone.
He doesn't.
He can delay, but he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress.
Oh, does it now?
And I don't even like to call it forgiveness because that implies a transgression. It's not to be forgiven. Just freeing people from those obligations. So the question of who gets forgiven, to use the term
She said
that
it,
is
though.
out there, is a debate. Do we use whatever money there is for the broadest base of support of those with
Okay, enough. The point is that she made at the beginning of this is that the President of the United States does not have the authority to forgive loans, even though they're not a transgression, which she doesn't want to call a transgression. So anyway, all right, let's move on. I don't have a whole lot of time. Let me just get through. I'll try to do a little lightning round here. Here's an interesting thing. Someone, a lawyer, let's see, who's lawyer? Is lawyer Mike Davis, who is a former chief counsel for nominations, U.S. Senate Committee on the Judiciary Law Clerk for Justice Gorsuch. He's a former. Anyway, this lawyer says that the Mar-a-Lago raid happened because Biden administration knows that President Trump declassified and made personal a copy of the Crossfire hurricane records. Those records are very damaging politically to Obama, Biden, Hillary, the FBI, the intel community. Now, interesting. That's what I was trying to say the other day, that he has some records, and that of all these things that these people did, it's like he kept a journal, but with real documents of all these things these shitty people did, and they don't like it. That's why they raided. That's why they raided that's why they raided Mar-a-Lago. I'm guessing that's probably about right. All right, let's continue in the lightning round now. Dr. Birx, remember her? Deborah Birx. I saw this article the other day, and I'm like, what the fuck, lady? Do you think none of us remember anything? None of us remember anything? Dr. Birx says reliance on Europe for early COVID-19 data is an indictment of our system. Now, apparently she did an interview with somebody. Dr. Deborah Birx, the White House coronavirus response coordinator under the Trump administration, said that having to lean on data coming out of Europe during the first month of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 was an indictment of our system. Let's just stop right there. Excuse me, woman. And I granted, you are far more educated than I. You have a doctor in front of your name. In the early months of 2020, the reason that we relied on information from Europe on the coronavirus pandemic is because in the early months of 2020, the pandemic had not hit the United States yet, you moron. First of all, we got unreliable data from China.
China is asshole.
And the place where the first major breakout other than China
is asshole
was northern Italy, which just happened to be a place where there were daily flights between Wuhan, China
is asshole
and Milan, because they were fashion. A lot of the fashion industry in Milan is owned by people in Wuhan. So there are daily nonstop flights from Wuhan to Milan. And northern Italy was hit hard first in the early months of 2020. So her saying that we having to lean on the data coming out of Europe during the first months of COVID-19 in 2020, how can it be an indictment of our system if we had very few cases. The first cases of COVID-19 in the United States we found in the early months of 2020. Now, she said she applauds recent efforts to overhaul the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in an interview that aired Sunday, saying the U.S. system failed to provide real-time data in the early days of the pandemic. How? We didn't know what it was. She's part of the team. Remember the team that convened January 20th? Somewhere around January 20th, 2020, was when they were first learning about it. Trump put the first task force together as soon as they learned about it. Because remember before that, China, we have this disease that's happening in this city of Wuhan, but we didn't really want to tell anybody till December 31st. And the WHO, now, who should have been the source of data? Who do you think should have been the source of data that early in the pandemic? Well, China should have been one of the sources of data. And the World Health Organization, which was getting its data from, wasn't getting its data from China.
China is asshole.
Maybe they should have been the first source of data on stupid 19, but they weren't giving accurate data. And then you started to have a huge outbreak in northern Italy, and then the people in Europe who were dealing with this were the ones who were giving us data early in 2020 because they were the ones dealing with an outbreak. We weren't really dealing with an outbreak. Our first cases came in February of 2020, although there were cases that we didn't know about that probably were a little earlier than that. So how the bloody hell were we supposed to be getting data when we didn't have the cases? I just don't know what she's talking about here. So she's saying, first and foremost, in March of 2020, all of our data that I used to warn Americans of who was at risk for severe disease, hospitalization, and deaths came from our European colleagues. Of course it did, because that's where the cases were, and China was not giving you accurate data. How can you get... That should be itself should be an indictment of our system? How? Where else would you get it from if there were no cases in the U.S. or if there were very few cases in the U.S.? How would you know who was at risk for severe disease, hospitalization, and deaths if you didn't have data to work with? So the only data you could work with was where there were cases. That was in northern Italy. This is a stupid statement, and I don't know why they're even writing this article other than to, by inference, make Trump look bad. Well, this should make Trump look bad because and our system is so bad and blah, 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 blah. This makes no fucking sense. This makes no sense. So anyway, if you want to watch that dumpster fire of an interview, it's there. Let's move on. Lightning round. Now, Joe Biden said he had zero prior knowledge or notice of FBI Mar-a-Lago raid. We just saw that clip. I'm not going to play it. He's lying. He's lying. The fact that they did not brief the president of the United States of the FBI raiding the former president of the United States and someone who could be the front runner for the nomination of the next president of the United States, that they're all full of shit. Apparently, shameless Fed leaks details of Mar-a-Lago raid, but push court to keep the affidavit sealed. Of course they are. They are going to leak every bad thing they can about this raid, and they're going to keep everything that makes them look bad sealed if they can. But you can read this article by Jonathan Turley. I think he's from Georgetown University Law School. He's a professor there. Not a surprise. Let's see. Why did I open this one? Oh, that's about Marjorie Taylor Greene. We already got that. Let's see here. Texas is banning BlackRock, the king of ESG. If you don't know what ESG is, ESG are these environmentally conscious companies that they have their whole strategy is to make sure that they are being environmentally sound and will stop climate change. Well, anyway, Texas placed restrictions on 10 finance firms, declaring that the firms' opposition to fossil fuels could undermine the state economy, according to Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts, Glenn Hegar. Texas is an oil state, and that it would hurt Texas. It's funny because there's always been in leftist circles a hatred for people who have oil companies, and so this climate change thing is just the perfect thing for them to just start, trying to get the oil companies. Just to defeat them. So anyway, Texas has placed apparently banned. So state like pension funds, things like that, often invest in certain companies. Well, they're not going to invest in BlackRock, which is one of the king. What does ESG stand for? I can't remember. It's environmental. Let's see. It has a name. Environmental, social, and governance. It's basically World Economic Forum on steroids. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. I'll just tell you what's in the tabs because I'm out of time. Dems climate bill overrules the Supreme Court, expands EPA over control over energy industry. So this is interesting. Here's the highlights. The Inflation Reduction Act defines air pollutants, including carbon dioxide, as greenhouse gases. Now, that's funny because you exhale carbon dioxide. Some experts argue this legally authorizes the EPA to regulate greenhouse gases and encourage adopting renewable energy, while others were not so sure. There's no definition there. It's just sort of in a list, and it's casually mentioned. Former Trump EPA transition team member Steve Milloy told the Daily Caller News Foundation there's no section that says carbon dioxide is an air pollutant under the Clean Air Act. So anyway, they've had this climate bill, right? It wasn't really an inflation reduction bill. And it grew the Environmental Protection Agency's authority over energy after the Supreme Court limited it in June. The bill's text shows by defining carbon dioxide as an air pollutant. So the court decision in West Virginia versus EPA limited the EPA's regulatory power and found that Congress had not authorized the agency under the Clean Air Act to impose greenhouse gas emission caps under the now replaced Clean Power Plan to force a national transition away from coal power. Several of the Inflation Reduction Act sections define the term greenhouse gas as the air pollutants carbon dioxide, hydrofluorocarbons, methane, nitrous oxide, perfluorocarbons, and sulfur hexafluoride. Now, but wait a minute. Carbon dioxide as an air pollutant? Democrats who contributed to the climate bill and legal experts said it clearly authorizes the EPA to regulate greenhouse gases and push for renewable energy adoption by defining fossil fuel generated carbon dioxide as an air pollutant, so fossil fuel generated. In an amended Clean Air Act, according to the New York Times, the language was opposed by Senate Republicans but survived their attempts to erase it, the outlet reported. So now they're going to try to use the authorization so that they can regulate carbon dioxide from coal plants. So it's a workaround, and I think it's probably going to go back to the courts, and the court's going to go, hey, you can't do this shit. Anyway. Other articles, California, the brownout state, will mandate electric cars by 2035. Hey, all right. Rolling blackouts and electric cars. What a combination. You know what? I'm going to call it. I can't do it. I got to go. And there are several other articles. Adams in New York orders New York cops not to congregate while on duty. Cops respond, pretty soon there won't be enough cops left. They're going to quit. In Virginia, a progressive prosecutor freed a felon who went on to murder two men. You can read the article in the... Here, I'll put these back up. You can read the article in the tabs from the Daily Caller. Uvalde School Board unanimously votes to fire Police Chief Pete Arredondo 3 months after school shooting. My only question is, what took you so long, assholes? From PJ Media, nobody's perfect. 26 Baltimore residents received their 2020 ballots in the mail 3 weeks ago. Hey, now that is special. Good. They can vote for whoever they want to. In Kenosha, they've pledged to stop using ballot drop boxes after Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled they're illegal. Good. In Breitbart, Trump vindicated as DOJ releases Mueller memo on not prosecuting Trump because they had nothing to prosecute him for. That was the problem. I need a 3-hour show. You're right. I got way too many up here today. If this FBI spy's scorched earth legal strategy backfires, he'll finally pay for Russian hoaxing. This is that Stephen Halper. He may have sidestepped a congressional subpoena and escaped charges for making false statements to the FBI, but his comeuppance may be coming soon, recent court filing suggests. Soon after the FBI launched Crossfire Hurricane in the summer of 2016, longtime confidential human source Halper officially joined the government arm of the Russia collusion hoax, meeting with FBI agents. Anyway, this guy, he might, remember John Durham? I think John Durham might have made a filing on this guy, so we'll have to watch for that. FBI whistleblowers in 2019, local leaders told FBI agents, you will not look into that Hunter Biden laptop. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember this. They were ordered not to look into it. So that's articles in the article. There's some whistleblowers that came to Senator Ron Johnson, and I think to, what's the dude from Ohio, Jim Jordan? Let's see. Oh. Act in Haste, Repent in Leisure, a group in Wisconsin is helping transitioners sidestep medical screening. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. And then finally in City Journal, there's an article about radical gender theory coming to the heartland. In Springfield Public Schools, they've adopted a radical gender theory training program that encourages teachers to believe that gender is a universe and to affirm sexual identities such as non-binary, pansexual, and polyamorous. It's an interesting article. It's Springfield, Missouri, excuse me, not Springfield, Illinois. But anyway, those are the articles that you can find in the tabs after I update the link during the outro. I got to go, guys, because I'm late, and I don't want to be late for my other gig. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here at the Morning Night Live. If you would be so kind, hit the like button before you go. Share the stream before, during, and after the show. Put a comment in the comment section if you're watching on replay, and you can sponsor the show 24 hours a day at pdognight.live. Thanks to our sponsors today. Tyre Alexander, Chicago Mike, Gunfox 61, and Bob J. Bobbin. And of course, Cryptic, our Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thanks, guys. I'm going to be abrupt. Time to go. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.